Yeah, so the first thing I'm gonna do is show you guys, and set this exam up. And then, the second thing we'll do is go over the exam review. The majority of that exam review will be what you said in the, discussion. In the normal, I would tell you, under the normal course of this class, I will go over what you need in the exam before you take the exam. Please do not believe that you're gonna have to like wing it or something like that. A couple of individuals thought, well, like one or two thought that maybe the exam was this weekend. I'm not gonna give you the exam without the discussion. And then normally we'll have some type of discussion, or I'll tell you, I think you're ready. Oh, Lord. So the study guide has been available good, and let's see, yeah. 39 of you haven't started, but thank you to Aisha, Snea, Carson, Aaron, Joshua, Lashate, um, Aga, and Fazal, right? So for starting it, you didn't have to start it, it's just good. We have 4 exams for this class. Yes, Sammy, that's also in the syllabus. But yes. I gotta change the points here, but that's okay, we get that done right now. So, as you see, technically you have 2 questions. Oh, good, as long as that, no, that's not that, that's last year. So your exam is gonna open at 12 a.m. on Friday. So you get all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. And it will close on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Take this moment to say something because some of you have 100 minutes. Let me show you. Well, it's not, I told you you have 100 minutes. Oh, sorry, you don't have 100 minutes. You have 80 minutes to do this exam, right? That 80, that's an hour and 20 minutes. Those hour and 20 minutes have to be together, right? You got one 80-minute set. So you can do it any time in those 3 hours, except for you cannot start the exam at 11:58 and expect you're gonna get an hour and 20 minutes. You start the exam at 11:58, you'll get 1 minute. It is the first thing that happens. You're either gonna get is either an hour and 20 minutes, 80 minutes, or 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Questions? Okay. The second thing, if you have technical issues, please contact IT Help Desk first, not me first. IT Help Desk first, then let me know. Because I really I cannot resolve your issue. And be mindful that sometimes you may be making a mistake. So keep that in mind also. We all make mistakes. Remember my joke, I'm not your Sunday guy, right? I'm your Tuesday guy. Like we all make mistakes. Embrace the fact you might have made a mistake. don't like double down. I'm not saying that no human has not been right when everybody else has been wrong. There has been a human that was right when everybody else was wrong. His name is Noah, right? He was right, right? And there it is. But don't be open that you might have made a mistake. It's not that you're wrong. You're not a bad person. You're not the evil incarnate. It's simply a mistake. And I make them all the time. Everybody with me. Trust me. So be open that it may be you. 60% of the time it's not gonna be you. The truth be told, the law of averages says 50% of the time it will not be you. But God forbid I tell you that, because I think 50% of the time it's me. Oh my God. Right. So, let's say 60% of the time. All right. Let's go. So it's open during that time. Once you do the assignment, it will submit. So it automatically submits. Right? I do not give like late submission penalty or whatever, because it's an accounting course. That makes sense. You need to turn your stuff in on time. I think if any of you found out that you never had to turn your work in on time, or you never did turn in your work in on time during all your accounting courses, would you be shocked if nobody hires you as an accountant? Right? Like, that's a basic practice of accounting. That makes sense, turning in your work on time. So it's just something that I stick to. How many questions are in the exam? Two. Thank you for the question. It's kind of a trick question.
Like multiple parts. Yeah.
2 accounting questions. All right. They're like your homework questions. I don't think there've been no more than 10 problems, right? Did you feel like there were 10 problems 1 hour in? No. Because they have multiple parts. Remember, one journal entry is at least 4 entries. It's at least 4 entries. The count, the number, the count again, and the number is 4. Everybody with me? So if I gave you 10 journal entries, that's 40. If I gave you 10 journal transactions, that's 40 entries. You with me so far? So be mindful of that. And I think I told you last week, the exam is, well, if you didn't hear it, you definitely heard it on the exam study guide. The exam is the journal transactions, closing entry, the journal transactions, which is journal transactions and adjusting entries. And then the other part is making 3 financial statements: the income statement, the statement of retained earnings, and the balance sheet, and doing closing entries. That's it. When asked about multiple choice, I think you're more concerned about multiple choice with the numbers than with the accounts. There is no multiple choice with the numbers, there's no A, B, C. There are multiple choice when it comes to the accounts, right? It's just like your homework. You can either start typing CAS and the drop down will come down with cash, or you can click in there and the drop down will come down and you can pick which one is right. That makes sense? So thanks for that question. Who asked that question? Thanks for that question, Jacob and Christelle. Thanks for that. All right. Let me see. Oh, got another question. Are we allowed to use any notes? Yes, Ahmad. Thank you for asking that question. You will be able to use 1 page of notes, front and back. I don't care how you write on it. Regular note paper, not legal paper, right? Don't bring like cardboard or something. But And I don't care if you write it very small and you need a magnifying glass. I'm not worried about that type of stuff. Just needs to be one page of notes. You have a question? No? Okay. Also you'll get, I'll show it to you. So it's not me telling you. Printing's not allowed. Questions are be ordered. They're in order, but they're only 2 questions. So you're only gonna get question number 1 and 2. Let's see. How do we show you this, you know? You just put it in the camera because you'll be recorded. Thanks for that question, Jacob. Do we have to submit the note sheet? No, you don't. Just put it in the camera, front and back, and that's all I need, right? Password, there's a password, be great. I'm gonna put it in your, put it in your announcements. Let's see. Right, so just put the password in your announcements, you should get there. Credit is given for accuracy, 1 attempt is only allowed, there are no study attempts, right? As I said, check my work, you'll get check my work for everybody who did their homework, you know what check my work is. You get 2 of them per question. So you get 2 for the first question, 2 for the second. That makes sense, not 2 overall. No hints, no nothing on that, sorry. Handwritten, no. Yeah, it doesn't, William, yeah, it doesn't matter if it's handwritten or typed, front and back, yeah. Somebody else, the exam is one. Yes, Khadijah, the exam's gonna be on McGraw-Hill. Special values, titles. Are you hosting office hours this week for students with any last minute? Yeah, that'll be on Thursday. Yasmin. All right. So that's that. Oh, the other thing. So the proctoring will look like this. What will be the due date? I gave you the due date. Yeah, William, I just said calculator. Did I say calculator? No, I didn't. Thanks for saying so. You can have a calculator or you can have a cell phone, either one. Doesn't matter. There will be a video recording. Let me say this up front. Even this recording that I'm doing now, all recordings that I do, whether it be the Zoom recording or this proctor recording, all these recordings are the property of the Commonwealth of Virginia. We're a state-funded university, state-funded college, so they are the property of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Does everybody understand that? Okay. As a result, this is public property. Please dress appropriately to your exam. I know that some of you will take your exam at home and you feel comfortable and you feel like, hey, I wanted to. Just please dress appropriately. They are public property. Everybody with me so far? I would encourage you to dress what you would feel comfortable to dress in class with, come to class with, right? But just please dress appropriately. That's the first thing. The second thing, I would encourage you to make sure I would inform my family, hey, I'm gonna be taking an exam, right? Kind of know that this is gonna be happening unless you're gonna go somewhere, right? Like if you go somewhere, like go wherever you feel comfortable. But if you do it at home, I would definitely encourage you to make sure that your family knows what's coming down the pipe, right? That and the other thing that I'm gonna encourage you to do is I would encourage you, you don't have to do this, but I would encourage you to have the wall, like a wall facing you, your back to a wall. And I'm just saying that because I had a student once, he did the right thing, he told his parents, but he decided to wake up a little early because there's a lot of people in his house. So he woke up like 4 a.m. to take his exam because he's early, 4 or 5 o'clock, early bird. And and his dad like heard him getting together or something. Dad comes down the steps and the steps were like right behind him. And the dad thought, something was going on. And the dad walked down in his tidy whities, right? You don't want that to be the property of the Commonwealth of Virginia. That makes sense? Like those are like simple mistakes. So I tell people, if you can, make sure the back, like your back normally, if you can. If you can't, you can't, right? But just, more importantly, come dressed appropriately. Don't do anything crazy. I'm not sure if you mentioned it. This exam the exam is through the system in McGraw-Hill. They have Proctorium. So they're gonna do the videoing and send it. And then the AI goes through it the first week to say if you're cheating, most of you will get dinged for cheating. Then the second sweep will be like a person, they'll come by and then they'll look, and then if they file it, it raises to a certain extent, they'll send it to me. That's what happens. You're gonna have limited access, right? So it's gonna be strict, 30-second tolerance. They're gonna block the use of other programs, block other websites, and block the use of different displays, right? So you're gonna be on one display. They're gonna disable copy and paste, disable printing, block the right click, and block downloads. And they're gonna prevent tampering, right? You'll sign like there's a verification agreement, integrity agreement that you'll do. They will give you a calculator and whiteboard if you want to work on it. Let's see. Would you compare the exam questions to the smart? No, Jacob, I compare them more to the homework than the smart book, but I'm glad you asked that question. Yeah, and that's that. That's all I got. So that's what you can expect with this exam. Yeah, there's there's one other thing I want to tell you, and that concerns academic integrity and cheating. None of you get the same exam. Let me restate this. Let me say this one more time. None of you get the same exam. All of the numbers are always jumbled up. So when we come back next week, if you want to challenge a question, if you think a question is wrong or something like that, you're more than welcome to come in and challenge it and show it to me next week. Explain like your side. Maybe I'll give you some points for it. If I give you points for it, I give everybody points. When we're going over that question, please nobody chime in and say, no, that answer is not 500, it's 800. The answer is 800 on your exam. It's not 800 on their exam. Everybody with me so far? So don't listen to what they're saying. But the other part is because people say, well, you gonna let us use our cell phones? Yeah, because you can't call your friend and just say, hey, give me the answer to number 12 on the first part. It doesn't work like that because their answer to number 12 is different than your answer for number 12. Right? So I just don't encourage you to cheat. I don't encourage you to get everybody's stuff. I know some of you are probably, you are either time crunched. I can tell that through messages or whatever that you got a lot going on your plate. And I know some of you have not put in the proper work. I know some of you are gonna come in this weekend and you haven't put in the proper work. And I mean, that's just life, right? That's just life. Some of you are gonna fail because this is not the right direction for you. And please embrace that, right? You rather fail and end up finding out you don't like accounting or whatever this is, and go pursue what you like instead of passing and ending up being an accountant and being miserable for over 20, 30 years. Does that equate to everybody? You don't wanna, you don't wanna cheat to pass to get into something that eventually you hate. Right? So, I would encourage everybody, like, if it's your core course, now, I'm not gonna come out here like, I guess some ethics teacher or something and tell you to do, I know that sometimes you're gonna take some shortcuts, right? I'm just encouraging you not to take shortcuts in your core courses, right? Now, what you do in your PE classes or any of those other classes that they built on top of this schedule, that's on you, right? You're adults, I'm gonna let you make the call. But in the business courses, I just encourage you not to take that route and be, if you're not ready, just embrace that journey. Like, I heard someone say, it was like the movie was good, the topic was awful, but, the protagonist in it said, like, embrace the journey. Embrace the journey of answering the question, even if the question is wrong. Right? So you ask the question, you're going the wrong way, but embrace that journey as you go that way. Not about the end. It's about the journey. Embrace, like, enjoying that journey. So, yeah, I know some of you may try, AI. Let me give you another caution for you. And I told this to your colleagues this morning. In business, you will get fired faster in business and maybe law than any other profession in the universities. You are in a different sphere. You go and get a job, and this has happened. There was a young man, he got a job. He came from one of the most prestigious business schools, top 20, top 15 business school in America. Got the job here locally, Loudoun County. Was struggling with the accounting. Did not know stuff that you guys know right now in the first month of accounting, like how to take the numbers from the trial balance and make the financial statement. Like, just something that simple, right? Admitted that he cheated. He had been in a fraternity, and so the fraternity had a system in which they had acquired many of the answers. And so he was getting the information from the fraternity and admitted he cheated, right? Admitted he cheated the majority of his way through school. So I was asked by my friend to come in and see if there was anything recoverable. Like, could we, because the individual, the new employee was asking for training. Like, could you train me on how to create financial statements? They were hired to do financial statements. Okay. I went in, I gave them a test, a quiz. It wasn't horrible, right? But it definitely was not bachelor degree level work. I reported back and I said, I probably can get the person on track, if they still gonna do their job and they work with me, give me 6 to 9 hours a week, I could get them back on track maybe in, the matter of 3 months, right? To where I feel comfortable they can execute what you're asking. The employer said, no, that's okay, and fired. Because you remember now what this employee is asking is for the employer to pay not only their $70,000, $80,000 salary, but another $10,000 to $20,000 on top of that for training that they should have had in college. Right? So when I implore you not to take shortcuts and cheat in your core courses, that's because in these core courses, you might go on and be successful, but success is not what you think it is. And when you will get revealed, you will get revealed. And when you get revealed, it gets ugly quick. It gets devastating quick. We are not, this is probably the most conversation you're gonna get. When it comes to a business professional, most business professionals are not gonna spend that much time talking to you, holding your hand and getting you through this stuff. They're gonna fire you and then they're gonna block your number. They're not gonna go back and forth. You are a very engaging generation. You go back and forth, you conversate. They say something, you say something. They say something, you say something to get over your point. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You think that Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk are that talkative? Eccentric, yes, but do you think they're talkative? I'll take your silence as an astounding no. Everybody with me? So when they're firing you, they're not gonna be like, well, Dr. Jenkins, let me tell you, the other day when you came in, no, what will happen is you will take your badge and you'll swipe and they'll be like, "Brr, brr, brr, brr." You're like, man, why didn't the door open today? And a security guy or HR will come out front and say, hey, can we speak to you for a second? And that's your last day. You'll show up to a room, HR office, and your stuff will be in a box. That's how they get rid of you. All right, so make sure you do, and it doesn't matter whatever your core is, just make sure you do the work in the core. Because if you don't come out of here with certain skills, you're in trouble. And remember, you're competing against everybody in the world now. You're in trouble. When I'm in Honduras, they're hungry. They're hungry. You know, and you know, I've been there with a startup. I took a startup from, $100,000 to 40 million top line revenue. When we were making 100,000, we were hungry. When we were making 40 million, we was fat and happy. Sitting in the what do they call it thing, in the suites down there, the Braves games, private jets and all that nice stuff. That stuff makes you fat and happy. You're fat and happy and you're not hungry. When you're not hungry, there's somebody else gonna come get you. For every Michael Jordan, there's a Kobe Bryant sitting right there, practicing his moves, practicing the move. Played, fade away, and he's coming. And then when Kobe comes, then you got LeBron. And when LeBron goes, then you got Steph Curry. When Steph Curry goes, now we got SGP. Never forget that. You gotta stay hungry. Stay hungry. All right, let me go to you. Any questions about how the setup will be? As I said, do not cheat. I wouldn't suggest you cheat. Calling your friend is not gonna help you because they can't just tell you, oh, this is no, they gotta hear your question and then tell you how to work that question out. I'm sure none of you wanna take my job and go tell your friend how to work some problem out. And I'm sure none of you will work the problem out for your friend. Right? Like that's not a good use of your Saturday or Sunday. So keep that in mind. Questions? All right, let's go. So you guys the majority of you did the discussion board. I sent it through AI. It told me what I need to talk about with you, so this is it. Okay, so debit and credit intuition gave me one thing that was pretty neat. I was like, oh, I've never seen that before. Let's see. Okay. Debit and credit intuition. Why cash is credited? Why cash is credited when it goes down? Why is cash credited when it goes down? Because it's a what? Asset. Because it's an asset. Remember, assets. Did I take the thing down here? Is it up here? Where is it? This way? My left or you? Okay. Thanks. Remember, when we. At this point, I'm gonna use some shorthand, right? So when we credit assets, they go down. You don't know what T accounts are. You're in a situation. That makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, you're in a situation. Everybody with me? Not saying you're gonna fail the exam, you're just in a situation. All right, adjusting entries, prepaid, and how to tell this period versus one-off transaction. Good, okay. That, to go back to the basketball analogy, is almost like asking me like, how do you make a layup, right? Like, I'd be like, well, one step, two step. All right. And when I say that, what I'm getting at is that normally it's in the question, or you kind of like, depreciation, and there's gonna come a point you're gonna know depreciation is an adjusting entry. And it's gonna be over 5 years, and every year for the next 5 years, you're gonna say, this is the depreciation expense. This is the depreciation expense. That's a common question I get from like clients. They're like, how do you know the depreciation expense? I'm like, it's gonna be like the back of your hand. That makes sense, you just know. Now, without saying that, you can either memorize what the adjusting entries are, which I guess after time, you end up knowing what the adjusting entries are, or sometimes in the question, they'll give you hints. Like they'll say, remember, one adjusting entry is that let's say, and this has got a time period element in it too. You work from, let's say, December 27th through, did I get that right? 25th. 24th through the 30th. Everybody with me so far? They owe you for the 24th through the 30th, right? And, sorry, let me change this one more time. 25th, 26th, 26th through the 2nd, January 2nd. So on the January 2nd, they owe you for the 26th to the 22nd. But this is 2026 and this is 2025. So you got to put the first 5 days, the 26th through the 31st in 2025. And the first through the second, the time you work the first through the second, you got to put it in 2026. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, please say something. It might have been more confusing because I had to make sure I got the dates right. It was 7 days. I was like, 6, 27, 28, 30, 31. Matter of fact, I still got it wrong. 26, 27, 28, 29, 31. You gotta put the first 7 days. Everybody with me, 7-day week. So sometimes you'll have a time period separation like that. And you'll kind of intuitively know, okay, this goes into this year, this part goes into that year. Or this goes into this quarter and this part goes into that, right? So you'll get a separation. Questions? Those are the two best ways I would explain it. Let's see, closing entries. Only temporary accounts closed, fantastic. Close them. The income summary, the temporary accounts. So we're gonna take, when we're doing the closing, please remember, we're gonna close the income statement. The income statement, and when I say the income statement, I'm saying revenue and expenses. We're gonna close that to the income summary. And then we're gonna close the income summary to the retained earnings. When we close the income statement to the income summary, the total of the income summary will equal what?
0.
Not yet. When we close it from the income statement to the income summary, the total will equal what? Anyone remember? This is your first check.
Oh.
Make sure you do it.
Net income?
Net income, fantastic. This is gonna equal net income, right? So you can check this total number to the income statement number to make sure they match, and that's how you know you're on the right track. And then close it to the retained earnings. And then the last part is to take the dividends and close that to the retained earnings. At that point, you'll have beginning, net income, dividends will equal ending, which means the retained earnings here will equal what financial statement? This is your last check. Make sure you got it right. So the first one is the net income. What financial statement looks like this? Beginning plus net income minus dividends equals ending. Statement of retained earnings. Everybody with me? So that's how so your ending retained earnings needs to look just like your statement of retained earnings. You get that, you got it right. Accrual versus cash, I'm not gonna do that. Adjusting entry, adjusting trial balance. And notice how the land omission, okay. Anybody know it? Land omission. Linking the statements, income statement, statement retainers. Data logic, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, we've gone over the calculator policy. Let me make sure we're clear on, since they did ask me about the accounting summary, the accounting cycle. Let me make sure that we are clear on the accounting cycle. All right. What's the first step in the accounting cycle? First thing we do in the accounting cycle. Right. Analyze it to see if it's what?
Material and material.
Material, fantastic. Great. Information is material when it can change the decision of a rational investor. When it can change the decision of a rational investor. That means it is relevant. How is material relevant? It's relevant because it has two things. Well, two things that I thought of. This is my genius. This is a Dr. Jenkins exclusive. If I was a rapper, I'd hit my beat. They bring me out. All right. So relevant means it's on topic. Some of you might be like, what are you talking about, Dr. Jenkins? It's on topic. What if I give you a transaction? Let's say you are accountant for Tim Cook. And Tim Cook comes in and says, look, I need to let you know I just spent $500,000 on a new special edition Maserati, and we need to put that on the books. What's your question gonna be? Other than, that's a lot of money. The question needs to be, did you spend it on your personal money or on the company money? And he says, no, I wouldn't use company money with it. Do you record this transaction on the books? Huh? Not for the business, it's not in the business, so therefore you don't record in the book. Remember, the business entity assumption. The business and the individual are what? Separate. Everybody with me? So that's where something is not relevant because it's not on the topic. The topic is the business. The topic is Apple. The topic is not Tim Cook's personal. Everyone with me? Ask me a question if you're not with me. Second reason something is relevant, because it's timely. Right? Because it's timely. If I was to go to Asheville, North Carolina, and warn them about Hurricane Helene, what do you think the people would say? The good folks in Asheville would say, you're late. That means what? It's not timely. Make sense? So the information has to be timely. It goes back to what we just talked about. Are the January 1st transactions relevant for the 2025 financial statements? If it was January 1st, 2026? No, because that's a different time. Everybody with me? So relevant means that it's on topic and it's timely. I need to run this through ChatGPT to see if I'm missing something, but I think that is. Yeah, nerd day for me. All right. Also, there's one other thing that you need when it comes to being material. Is it relevant? And this might go under stock relevancy too, but is it big enough to change your mind, right? To give you an example, let's say for instance, the accountant forgot to record the gift, the happy birthday cards that they gave to employees, right? And let's say we gave 50 cards, which were $1 each. So we paid $50 for those cards. Is that relevant to a rational investor that we didn't record the happy birthday card transactions in the financials? No. Because it's too small. That makes sense? You're not going to change your mind to find out, oh, they're missing a $50 expense in a multi-billion-dollar company. Everybody with me? So that's not relevant. And I'm saying this because there's a good chance you're going to get a transaction this weekend that's not relevant. There's a good chance that all these transactions aren't going to be material. I hope they are because it makes it easy, but if they're not, you might get one that's not. That makes sense. So keep your eye out to know that might happen. All right, so once you find out is material, you do what?
Journal.
Yep, analyze it. And then you're gonna put those journal transactions on what?
Defense.
The accounts. Fantastic. And then you're gonna take the totals of those T accounts and create. And well, if you gonna be Kobe Bryant.
Unadjusted trial.
Yeah, unadjusted trial balance. Hey man, I don't have no problem with one guy scoring 50 and the rest of the team scores 30. A win's a win. Right? At the unadjusted trial balance, we're gonna do what? Yep, adjustments. And that's gonna give us the what? Adjusted trial balance. And then we're gonna make what financial statement?
Closing statements.
No, not yet. It's the first financial statement. Yeah, that's it.
Income.
Yeah, income statement. And then after the income statement, we're gonna make what? Statement of retained earnings. And then after the statement of retained earnings, we're gonna make what?
The balance sheet?
What did you say, LaShawn?
The balance sheet?
Balance sheet, fantastic. Great. Then after the balance sheet, we're gonna make our last financial statement, which is
The statement of cash flows?
fantastic, LaShawn. Statement of cash flows. And then what's the final thing we're gonna do in this? Closings. Closing. Now, we're not gonna do reversing entries. You might have seen them, especially in some of the PowerPoint slides in the appendix. We don't, that's past the purview. I like to save that for intermediate accounting. Okay, now, there will be one of these that you will not do, one of these financial statements. You're not gonna do the statement of cash flows. Everybody with me? Statement of cash flows is chapter 12. So you're gonna do journalizing, materiality and journalizing. And this will be one question. And then the other question is gonna start you here, here, and take you here. So this will be the same. The only thing you won't see is T accounts. Questions? None. Great. Yeah, I never even knew this thing did click. Debit, expenses, assets, dividends, credit, liabilities, income or revenue, and capital in. All right, what this thing I do need to go over with you, make sure we have this down, right? Boom, boom, boom. I want to make sure when you are looking at because there is an example of one in the I think it's here. Prove me right, please, 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 please. Then what's that guy? Yes, see, prove me right. All right. So when you're looking at this, 100s, are assets. 200 are liabilities. 300 are equity. 400 are revenue. And 600 are expenses. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna, let me put my, these notes that the AI gave me. Onto a, I don't know what the fun fact, but I don't know why he gave me this, but paying cash debit. Okay. I'm gonna put this in your own, this just be another announcement, so you can have it. Electric notes. And notes for exam one. Whoop, that's it. Just so you can have it, especially, especially, nothing on here is more important than what you would see on the study guide, but, yeah, especially that. This is a good thing to know, a good shortcut, yes. You know. Let's see. Core walkthroughs. Closing entries, the revenues to the income summary. Income summary. This is pretty good. Keep that. This may help you out. I'm talking about, these are things maybe you could put on your notes. That'll be good for you. Accrual and cash, accrual versus cash. At this point, we're on accrual accounting, so. The first versus. Yeah, I'll let you keep the rest of it. I'm not seeing anything that I'm like, oh, this should be, this is like essential you, for your success in this exam. Let me. Yeah, being able to do transactions like this, you know, pay $1,800 cash for future advertising. It was just the same questions that I went over with you, right? Is this a cash or a credit transaction? Huh? Nobody knows if this is a cash or a credit transaction. All right, it's a cash transaction. What type of account is cash? It's an asset. Do we increase or decrease the asset in the or the cash in the company? Decrease, how do you reflect a decrease in an asset? Credit. What do we use the cash for? Advertising, fantastic. What type of account is advertising? It's an expense, yeah. Did we increase or decrease the expenses in the company? Increase, how do we reflect an increase in an expense? Debit or credit? Debit. Debit, advertising, expense, credit, cash. Yeah. Hey, you looking at this, what I'm looking at?
Which one over? Actually, I am on that.
Paid $2,460 cash for 12 months of insurance through October 31st of next year. Cash or credit? Cash, what type of account is cash? Asset, do we increase or decrease the cash in the company? Decrease, how you reflect a decrease in an asset? Credit. What do we use the cash for? Insurance. What type of insurance? Prepaid insurance. What type of account is prepaid insurance? Asset.
Oh, prepaid.
Yeah, prepaid insurance, yes, asset. Did we increase or decrease the prepaid insurance in the company? Huh? Increase. How do we reflect an increase in an asset? Debit. Debit, prepaid insurance, credit. The next one. Receive $3,600 cash for future services to be provided to a customer, cash or credit. What type of account is cash? Asset. Did we increase or decrease the cash in the company? Increase, how do we reflect an increase in an asset? Debit, so we're gonna debit cash, and what do we receive the money for? Services, what type of account is services? Revenue, yeah. Do we increase or decrease the revenue in the company?
Increase.
Increase, how do we reflect an increase in revenue? Debit or credit?
Credit.
Credit, it's credit. We're gonna credit the revenue. Oh, we didn't earn it. You know what, I mean, it's a receive cash for future services. It's still a credit to, but it's a credit to unearned revenue. Unearned revenue is what type of account?
Liability.
It's a liability. Sorry, I thought we had earned this revenue. We did. Sorry, I misread this. Pay cash for cash, what type of account is it? Asset, increase or decrease? Decrease. How do we reflect the decrease in an asset? Credit. What did we pay the cash for? Consulting to be received over the next 3 months. So it's prepaid consulting, yeah. Prepaid consulting, what type of account? It's an asset. Did we increase or decrease the consulting in the company? How much we're gonna receive? Increase. How do you reflect an increase in an asset? Debit. Debit, prepaid, consulting, credit, cash. I think, you know what? Wait. Did I not share? Oh, this is what I was doing. Sorry, everybody online. But I guess I wasn't showing y'all this. Yeah, well, we open. Yeah, all day Monday. Well, if I wasn't showing y'all this and I wasn't participating, then y'all good? Y'all good? That's pretty much it. You do your journal transactions, your adjusting entries, and take the adjusted trial balance, make your 3 financial statements and close them. You're good. Any questions? So we got, no, not 3 checks, 2. You get to put in 3 responses with 2, right? You put in a response, you do a check my work. You put in another response, do a check my work. You put in a 3rd response after that. That makes sense. That's how you get. You're welcome. All right, let me share my screen one more time. So October 5th is your homework date. So remember that, and I'm going to, let's see. When we come back next class, I gotta make sure you guys are ready for, we're gonna not only go, so if you have any questions about the exam, let me know. But I'm gonna also put the discussion board up. Oh, I wasn't discussion. So we'll have chapter 4 discussion board due on Thursday. So discussion board is due this Thursday, chapter 4. Your assignments, your weekly assignments, and your exam will be due on Sunday. Questions? I must be confused. Is the exam this weekend? Yeah. All right. Let me call the roll. Aga? Aga?
Yes, sir. Come here.
Sanaya?
Here.
Kayla? Kayla? Cepeda? Lillian? Lillian Herrera? William?
Here.
Aiden?
Here.
Jacob?
Here.
Mohammed Khan? Anna?
Here.
Aaron? Aaron Kayadin? Kayadin? Tyler? Yasmin?
Here.
Nathan?
Here.
James?
Here.
and Prince?
Here.
Daniel? Daniel Harris?
Here.
Nathan Shields? Nathan Shields? Nadine? Nadine Samadi? Brittany?
Here.
Julian?
Here.
Joshua Weinstein?
Here.
Rohan? Rohan Agarwal? Ahmad? That's all you on the thing.
Here.
Leisha?
Here.
Javier? Javier Arevalo? Taisha? Kevin, Taisha, don't forget, I know you haven't said anything the last couple of weeks on this thing. Make sure your camera and your microphones work. If they don't work, then they're gonna say you're cheating. That makes sense? So you gotta make sure you're somewhere where you can do your camera and your microphone. Kevin.
Okay, here.
All right, Alessandro,
I'm here.
Christine,
Here.
Amy,
Here.
Asmin,
Here.
Carson,
Here.
Ashante. Maybe here. That's all.
Here.
Jane,
Yeah.
Fazal,
Here.
Aubrey,
Here.
Abel,
I'm here.
Vincent,
Here.
Joseph,
Here.
Christelle,
Here.
Mali,
Here.
Bean. Bean, Shifra. Jack,
Here.
Kelly,
Here.
Khadijah. Khadijah Kaid.
Here, Professor.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. You got questions, comments, concerns? Hold on, Shane. All right, guys, good luck on your exam. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. And I will see you next week on Tuesday. We'll talk about the exam and we will go on chapter 4, whatever you guys want to discuss. All right? All right, guys. See you
Thank you,
later.
Professor.
You're welcome. The exam will be like, I'm dropping on it. Homework, yeah. Okay. Just with what I showed you on that study guide, that's what it's exactly. Okay. If you do that study guide, you can do yours. I'll make the study guides harder than you. Actually. All right, you're welcome, man.
Have a good one.
All right, take it easy, bud.
Exam opens on Sunday,
Hope is Friday, going Friday,
like three different things.
12 a.m. Or 12 midnight, sorry.
Thank you.
You guys are up.
Was that?
You guys are up at 12. Yeah. This is 12.
It'll work.
Yeah, when I was your age, I was always up. Now, yeah.
You want to be involved.
Yeah, 12 is for 20-year-olds and vampires.
Yes, indeed.
All right, anybody on the line have a question? Let me cut the.